Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Walk the Talk with Balveer. Today I have architect Sunil Gambani from Drishti Architects with us. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Balveer. Lovely to see you.
Likewise, so good to see you. Thanks for joining me at Walk the Talk with Balveer.
Thank you for having us.
My pleasure. So, sir, to start, tell me something about Drishti.
Brishti is a firm which was opened in 2006. I was a senior associate with Hafiz Contractor for about 25 years.
Oh, wow.
And with his blessings and his kind permission, I started this firm so that it could encourage a lot of young talent along with me who would then be able to serve society better. Let me put it in a nutshell.
That's awesome. So, what's your philosophy for design?
See, philosophy for design is based on a need that arises. A need first that arises in society towards what is required, which comes to us in the form of a client. It enables a client to come to us with a vision that he has for someone or the other. Now, this, if I was to give you an example, this would happen if any development that you see is nothing but a response to a requirement in the society.
Correct.
It is headed by a client who may or may not be the end user of the product that he specifies. If it's a developer, he may build for someone else to occupy after selling it. If it's a client who's building a house, he will love to live within it. If it's a hotel, there will be a lot of entertainment, a lot of residential accommodation which is required when you travel. So it emerges from a function. Now, at Brishti, we all like to be versatile and serve every angle of society that emerges. So right from the client to the end user, they are in our mind as happy customers and as happy human beings.
Okay.
So anything that it takes to achieve that, because this is something which is extremely subjective, and as architects, we cannot be subjective and be, shoving our philosophy, so to say, on somebody. So this is what we have tried to do.
True that. So when you get projects, what's your favorite? Like hospitality or residential, commercial?
Whatever brings happiness to someone else is my favorite. I have to train myself to be able to give the person or the society what it requires. So I've done residences, we've done a lot of commercial developments, we've done hotels. We love to be versatile. Things like COVID teach us that there are certain things that work during times, certain things that don't work during times.
Okay.
If you get stuck in a rut saying, this is what I do, then the rest will not be available to you. So we try to train ourselves and not get swayed by likes and dislikes, so to say.
Works. Any particular architect or interior designer whose work you admire the most? It could be anybody, internationally or even from India.
See, you may think it's a little philosophical what I'm about to say.
Okay.
But I have tremendous faith in the Lord Almighty. I think He is the architect who works through every single architect. There is just, it's a matter of time. Times change, so does the architecture in response to the time. Architects change. At every different period in time, there is someone who becomes an idol. It's like the films. There was Dilip Kumar, who was an idol. If you tell today's kid and show him a movie of Dilip Kumar, he's not going to like it. And he's going to say, what is this? I would rather, see some Karthik Aryan or, one of those kind of guys.
I know.
Similarly, I have loved the works of Charles Correa. I have loved the works of Frank Lloyd Wright. I've loved works of Kishore Kurokawa. I have loved the work of my own immediate boss, Hafiz, who I have seen has a talent which surpasses any other talent. There is a lot of logic, there's a lot of talent, but with him, I have seen, uh, grace flow through him.
Yeah.
I have seen grace flow through me.
Oh,
So
I
I'm
like
saying,
that. That's
all
being
of
so
us,
modest. Yeah, that's
all
so
of us
good.
are guided by an unseen
Right.
hand, and he is the ultimate architect. But then
I
again,
totally
having
agree
said
with you.
that, like I said, Frank Lloyd Wright, in current times, Norman Foster, SOM, Indian architects, Mr. Doshi's work was unparalleled. There are a lot of architects who I love for what they do. A lot of interior designers I love for what they do. It's an endless list. And there is a learning every single day. I love my own colleagues who at times give suggestions which are better than what we ourselves do. So there is no particular favorite, but yes,
Yeah, but
appreciate
I mean,
any
it's
good work,
appreciating, yeah, admiring,
admiring all
appreciating.
good
That's
work.
what. How has the field of architecture and design changed over the period of years?
Generations are changing. Architecture is nothing but, like I said earlier,
Yeah.
a response to the needs of society. If society changes, there has to be change in the architecture. Right from, previously there would be one Khyber or one copper chimney where everyone would go again and again.
Correct.
Because they loved the food. Today's kid doesn't want to go back to the same place. So every single day there's a new restaurant coming up.
That's true.
There was a time people would love and wait outside a restaurant, socialize, and it was a status symbol that I had to wait for 1 hour to get into a restaurant. It's such a busy one, and I was seen there. Today, there are people who are impatient, who want to be there, eat, and get done. I mean, I'm one of those. When my wife used to make me wait outside New Yorkers, I would hate it. So I'm saying everything is changing. The work culture in offices. Previously, you used to have those rigid desks where everyone would sit. Today, you're working out of home. Yeah. People are talking about home offices, or even at work, they are talking about, someone wants to lie down and work. Someone wants to stand and work. So you've got tables that are shifting up and down.
Yeah.
Buildings are reflecting the moods of the people. They are reflecting the character of the individuals that are occupying them. So there has been a large trend. However, that common spine of that factor of happiness emerging out of whatever one wants has not changed. A lot of materials available. It's difficult to keep track. In fact, you are the guys who are spoiling us by the number of materials that you all display in all your exhibitions. One tends to feel left out if you don't use it in time.
That's true.
So trends have changed,
and they keep changing.
They keep changing, and it's bound to happen.
Correct.
Yeah, this is
Tell me
something
something about Aech.
Aech is one of the most established platforms which is working with the times, bringing all that there is in the changing times in the fastest and the most efficient manner possible to people. It's creating a huge and a fabulous networking platform, which is a great source of revenue to each and every single agency that gets associated with it. So both from a monetary perspective as well as from a learning perspective, I think you guys are a fantastic catalyst in society.
Thank you. That's so kind of you.
No, this is a fact.
Tell me something about your recent or latest projects, that you would be like, want to speak about your experience or however it is completing or it's on completion. So
there are a few nice projects we're doing. We're doing a large number of, show flats and sale pavilions for a lot of developers. There are, nice new different looking offices that we are doing. There is a hotel which we recently completed. It's actually a service apartment in Goa, which is also scheduled to open shortly. There's a memorial that we did for an old client of ours. He expired and his son wanted a memorial in his memory. So there's one that we've recently completed in Gorakhpur, which has also given them a fair amount of happiness. I keep looking forward to whatever new will come.
Yeah, and I'm also noticing from whatever conversation you've had that you're very particular that your client happiness means everything.
It does mean a lot because someone else's happiness is your own at the end of the day,
Somewhere,
and that's what we all live for.
Absolutely.
So these are just roles that we take as an
Yeah.
architect, as a father, whatever you call it. I mean, I'm going one step further and
No,
deviating a little,
not at all.
but I'm saying this is just one of the roles that we play.
Definitely.
So we must do our best to play it to perfection,
100%.
and that's all we can do. There's a lot that contributes. It's not only us. You sitting with me, all of this being seen by people,
Oh my God,
all of this.
I can relate to so much.
So I'm saying all of this is never done in isolation, and it's always a cooperative endeavor of which we are only a small part. Okay. So that's all I'll say towards this.
That's awesome. So your experience of so many years, working with Hafiz sir and then your own setup, what would be the message you would like to convey to today's generation of architects and interior designers who are coming up?
I would say be willing to learn, be humble, be in an accepting mode, treat the client as though he is responsible for everything that you have. Treat your vendors well. Do your best. Never ever shy away. Never be bothered about the results, but always do your best responsibly. Perfect.
That's awesome.
That's all I would say.
Thank you, Mr. Gambani.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you for having us. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone. We shall see you in the next episode.